Murder mystery books are just the most fun, entertaining books, especially cozy murder mysteries. They are so fun. Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're at the start of another weekly reading vlog, and this week we are starting April's TBR. I am so excited. I'm so excited to start the April TBR, and I actually am planning to read this book first. So this is The Cleaving by Juliet E. McKenna. This is an Arthurian legend retelling, but from the perspectives of the four women. I'm excited to read this one. I've been thinking about it a lot since we've done the TBR video, which for me was like probably coming up almost 2 weeks ago, and for you was only a few days. Actually no, it would have been like a week ago now by the time this video comes out. But I have been non-stop thinking about this one, and I just think this is either going to be really good and a really good underrated myth slash folklore retelling, or it's going to be an absolute flop, and I really want to find out which one. A couple of you say in the comments below that you've tried some of Juliet E. McKenna's other works and didn't get on with them, but that this one sounds intriguing, so we're going to give this one a try. I'm really excited. I love this cover. As I've said every single time I pick this book up, which it has been mentioned quite a lot because I did put it on my spring TBR and then obviously on my TBR game, but yeah, I'm pleased that I'm actually making progress with my spring TBR. We're getting towards the end of spring at this point because we are in... Actually, no, we're not. We're not getting to the end of spring. Don't ask me what I'm talking about. We're making progress with the spring TBR, which is amazing because the last couple of seasons I haven't done so well with my seasonal TBRs. But yes, this is the book I'm planning on reading this week. I don't really want to know more than the fact that it's from four women's perspective and we're looking at the events of Camelot, and I want to leave it there. I want to see if I get on with the writing. I think honestly the formatting of the book is quite nice. It looks like it's going to be quite readable, and we're just going to see how we get on with this one, and hopefully I enjoy it. I might annotate it. I've just come off the back of annotating 2 big books for the last 2 weeks and I absolutely adored it, so I may honestly annotate this one. I might read like the first chapter, see how I feel about the writing, and then if I think it's going to be one that I'm going to really like, then I may just do it. I've been really feeling the annotating buzz and it is good fun, and there are so many colours I could pull out of this cover for the tabs and it would look like a pastel dream. It would be so good. However, I don't like to annotate books that I don't think I'm going to keep, so I need to test the writing style and see if it's going to be one that I'm going to keep hold of, because if I'm going to donate it, I mean, if it's got annotations in, I normally give it to like a free library. Anyway, I'm waffling on. That's not really needed. The point that I'm making is I really am looking forward to reading this one, and I really hope it's going to be a good book, really good, because honestly March started off in the most lackluster way possible for my March reader month. It really wasn't fun. I had so many DNFs off the bat in the first week, so I'm really hoping April does not start out that way and that this is going to be a great read. But it does mean I'm going to have to put a different book there while I'm reading this one. I don't want it there. I'm so used to having a book on display there. What book should we... I want a spring book, but like what cover screams spring? I don't know. Actually, I could just do this one because it's got pretty flowers on and I did like this. This is The Ladies of Grace Adieu and Other Stories by Susanna Clarke, a little short story collection, and honestly it's pretty with the little pink. I honestly really like this cover, like it's just so striking. So we're just going to do that for now, I think. Beautiful. Lovely. That will do. But yeah, this is what I'm going to start off with. I'm also thinking maybe I could pick up some manga this week. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm just really excited to start this book, and then we'll see where we go with the rest of the TBR. But that's it for the start of this weekly reading vlog. Keeping it under 5 minutes, which is impressive for me. But yeah, that's what we're starting off with. I hope you're all doing okay. Let me know what you've been up to, what you've been reading. And yeah, let's start this reading vlog. Afternoon. I have read quite a decent amount and I'm very pleased with both of these books. So let's get into the physical book first, which is what I spent yesterday reading. Honestly, I would have got further in than this, but I did nap for 45 minutes yesterday. It was very needed. But I got up to chapter 15, page 134, and we are up to part 2. I did a bit of research because I know that when I first got this book, I did do a brief glance at Goodreads and the ratings were quite low. I still picked it up because I loved the cover and it sounded interesting, and I'm not one to worry too much about Goodreads reviews. However, I decided to go back into them after reading this chunk yesterday just to see what the complaints were about, because to me it seems like a fine read, and all the complaints are actually about the historical accuracy of this book because it's non-existent apparently. Now, I don't actually know because I'm not a massive history buff. I don't know much about when this is meant to be taking place. I don't know much about these things, but the main complaints were the fact that the way Juliet E. McKenna describes people as English and Scots, things like that, they wouldn't actually refer to themselves like this during this time period. Also, the descriptions of the armour that they're wearing is really inaccurate again for the time. None of that bothers me, but it might bother some that want that better historical accuracy than what you're going to get from this, because it's not apparently historically accurate. As again, I don't actually know for sure because it's not my area of expertise, it's just these are the complaints and I can't comment on it, so I figured I'll let you know. But I'm liking this. This is a really easy read. This is the sort of book I want to read when I'm on my early shifts, when I don't have the brain power to be focusing on really intricate world building or politics. Instead, this is just easy to read. I'm just enjoying it. Can I say it's a good retelling of the King Arthur legend and everything? No, but then I don't know what it really is. All I know is the Disney movie where you had the kid pulling a sword out of a stone? That's all I know. So everything else about this is kind of new to me, and I think because I'm reading this from that perspective of not knowing anything, I'm then not bothered about anything that isn't accurate because I don't know these things, so I'm not worried about that. We are following the perspective of Nymph. Now, Nymph is this kind of enchantress who's actually the same as Merlin, which obviously Merlin was the wizard. In this, Nymph and Merlin are the same. However, Merlin is a lot stronger than her, but she doesn't use her powers anywhere near as much as what Merlin has been doing. He's been flaunting his powers. He has been meddling in the affairs of humans, which he is not meant to do. They are a part of these hidden folk, they are called, which you don't know much about because Nymph doesn't talk about them. She talks about the fact they have strict lessons, strict things that they are meant to observe, that they're not meant to get involved in the events of history. Merlin is disregarding everything that they have been taught. So you're seeing Nymph and the people that she serves because she is the maid to the queen. This book, the time frame it takes place is actually before King Arthur is born, so it actually follows King Arthur's mother. So Nymph is a maid to King Arthur's mother. We see the different things that are going on, the fact that there is lots of war, that we've got lots of different factions within Britain that are fighting with one another, and you see the futility of what it is to be a woman during these times, and that's what this book is about. I honestly couldn't tell you whether it's a good rendition of the King Arthur legend, but this shows you the futility and helplessness of being a woman during these times. The fact that they are meant to be seen and not heard, the fact that they have no rights, no power as a woman, that the man has say over everything. And you see the fallout of the consequences of women during times of war, and it's really horrendous. Like, there is a scene that Igraine, the mother of King Arthur, has to go through, which is really terrible, and you see the hopelessness that Nymph has because she's like, I could interfere, but at what cost? It means putting my life on the line because they'll see the sorcery, think it's witchcraft, and then that's my life on the line. Also, I've been taught my whole life I'm not allowed to interfere with these things. Merlin is behind it all, he's orchestrating everything. How do I go up against him? And you just see the futility, and honestly, it's annoying. It's annoying to see this woman that has power but is also bound and cannot use this power. Now we're into the second part, and this does time jump quite a lot. So the first part was looking at the lead up to King Arthur's conception. Then you have a time jump from when he is born to now when he has grown. He's like a young man now, and he's just pulled the sword out of the stone. Again, this is all from Nymph's perspective though. Probably butchering names, I do apologise. You now see how she's actually becoming a bit more actively involved with things because Merlin is persuading her to. I'm really intrigued by it. Like I say, it's not the best written book. Like, it's not beautiful prose, it's not flowery. I was thinking about annotating it because it does have those moments of just pure feminine rage, really, at the fact that these women had their hands so well bound by these men, and also how religion doesn't help with that. So there are quotes in here which I would, but then at the same time I thought to myself, at this rate I would keep this book because it's a good easy read, but would I necessarily reread it? I'm not sure. I think if it stays the way it's going and like my interest is there, it's a good read. It's also something that I'm not like obsessed with. I wouldn't say it's the best thing ever, but it's also not a bad book. I would definitely try out something else from Julia E. McKenna, but I would get it from the library. I wouldn't purchase any more books unless of course they've written something else that I absolutely love, and so I really want a physical copy. But I think I'm very happy to have this book. Like, I knew I wouldn't unhaul it anyway because I love this cover. I mentioned it before when I was talking about this book that I picked this up because of the cover. I would honestly have this as an art print. I really love it, so I'm really pleased that I'm reading it. I also had zero expectations going into this book because I don't really know the legend. I don't really know much about it. I've never watched like the Merlin TV series. Like I've just got zero interest in it really, so I went into this not knowing anything. So for me, what I'm taking from this is more of like a medieval set book where we've got wars and people constantly fighting amongst one another, and Numu, this enchantress, that is watching this all from the sidelines, and you're seeing it from the women's perspective who are normally silenced within history. So that I can like for that. I can like it for that, and it doesn't need to be anything else for me. So it's entertaining enough. It is what I want on an early shift, so I don't have to focus too much on it. So I will definitely be reading more today. As I say, I will probably try out, if it stays this way and I stay liking it, try out more by the, because they've got such a backlist of books, like they've done loads, and I would definitely try out more just to see if I like it, but it's not going to be one that I'm like, oh, all-time new favourite author, I really want to read everything. It would be more like if I see one in the library I might pick it up, but otherwise I'm not bothered. Like, this is fine, this is fun. Is it going to stick with me forever? Probably not. It's not a bad book and I'm happy with that. It's what I wanted from it, so that's good. Okay, then I did start a book at work as I was back to work today. I was feeling a bit better, still honestly a bit tired, still a bit worn out, but it was an easy day at work, so it wasn't too bad. I don't know why I'm going on about that. Anyway, the book that I started on my lunch break at work is A Perilous Undertaking by Denna Raybourn. This is the second book in the Veronica Speedwell series, which I absolutely adore. I did start this book 2 weeks ago, but then put it down because I wanted to focus on finishing out my March TBR, and I'm really pleased that I'm back into it. I actually read a really good chunk of this book. I got up to, I just finished a chapter on my phone. I was walking home, so this isn't updated yet. Chapter 12. I'm up to chapter 12, page 117, and it's just so much fun. It's so easy to read. I mean, out of the two books, I am much preferring A Perilous Undertaking. It's just so much more engaging. I love the characters so much more. It's just so fun, and we do have Veronica and Stoker getting caught up in solving a second mystery, which I am so excited about. So we are following, for those of you that don't know the Veronica Speedwell series, we're following Veronica. She is a butterfly scientist. Don't ask me to say the actual word because I can't and I mess it up every single time, but she's a butterfly scientist. She's also quite forward thinking for women at this time, and that she has different views on relationships and sex, being able to have a job of her own and things, which is honestly, all of these things are not seen as perfectly normal for a woman during this time when women should just be married and have kids. But she ends up meeting Stoker in the first book. They get kind of thrust together in these series of circumstances, but then they work out, they actually make a really good team together. He is a naturalist, but for like mammals and things, like he does more taxidermy, whereas she does her butterfly work. And in the second book, they're working together on putting together this museum, but they then get called in about this murder that's happened. They don't believe the person police have apprehended actually did it. This man is set to hang in a week's time, and they've been tasked with find the truth. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable. I love Veronica. She is becoming one of my favourite characters. Like, she is just amazing. So I'm really excited back into that. So we've got two really good books on the go, which well, you know what? This is it's an enjoyable book. The Veronica Speedwell book, it far outshines it, but it's like a good, easy read, and I'm fine to continue on with this one. So yeah, I've got two books that are perfect for my early shifts, which is great because I've still got another 4 early shifts to go. So that's what we're reading this week, and I'm having a grand old time. I imagine I'm probably going to pick up another ebook this week. Actually, maybe not, because Veronica Speedwell, the way that I'm going through this, I will imagine that I will have this book done by Tuesday after work, I imagine. So then that leaves me with 2 days left because I have my Tackle Your TBR readathon at the end of this week. So I won't be vlogging across that day. So I want to actually wrap up the vlog on Saturday morning. So I might be able to squeeze in another ebook, or I might potentially start another one. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, these are what I'm doing. Now tomorrow I'm actually going over to my partner's, so I'm going to take, not the Cleave-In with me, I'm going to take the manga that's on my TBR for the month, which is The Promised Neverland Volume 4. So I'm going to take this to my partner's tomorrow and read this in the evening. It really won't take me long. This is something that I really enjoy. So I've read the first 3 volumes, obviously, because I'm up to volume 4. But this, we're following an orphanage that's filled with children that are routinely checked for how smart they are. They're put through this daily challenge, assessing just like their smarts, really, how intelligent they are. And every so often somebody gets adopted out. They never see or hear from them ever again. But then this group of children find out what actually happens when children get adopted. And now they are trying to escape from the orphanage. It's really good. I really enjoy it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to carrying on with the series. So I'll be doing that tomorrow after work. So I'll read a little bit more of the Cleave-In today, and then I'll get back to it on Tuesday, because Monday I'm going to be reading this one. That's the plan. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because I'm probably not going to update again till Tuesday. So I don't want to randomly come in and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I read this. I wanted to let you know that is in the plans. Do you need to know, considering it all happens like for you within seconds rather than days? I don't know, but now you know. So yeah, those are the plans. I'm having, honestly, it's been a good day. It's not been too bad. I need to edit a video, and then I want to do some food, read, and then get ready for work. Like, we're just on a rinse and repeat moment. I'm rambling because I'm tired. Tired rambles. But right, okay, I'm actually gonna stop talking. I'm literally just gonna go around in circles. I'm enjoying the books. It's a good time, and I will catch up with you Tuesday after work, hopefully. Lots of reading updates, like loads. I've read so much over the last couple of days. It's been so good. What do we start off with? Let's start off with books that I finished. So I was reading Veronica Speedwell's A Perilous Undertaking. Loved it. Amazing. Finished that today. Beautiful. I loved it so much. I had so much fun with it. It was a really good mystery. I liked all the different moving parts. I like how Veronica and Stoker make mistakes, because they're amateurs. They are not professional detectives. They are amateurs. They're just curious, and they have a good eye for detail because of their professions. And I really liked it. I loved seeing their interactions. I loved all of that. It was really good. I I just had a lot of fun. I kind of thought it could be the person it was, but hadn't really made any proper guesses. I do find that when I'm reading on an ebook with my mystery book, I'm not trying to go out of my way to solve them, because I prefer doing that with a physical book where I can underline things, I can write in the margin. I like doing all of that. Whereas on an ebook, you can't really write in it. So ebooks I don't try and solve. I always have like an idea. I'm like, oh, it could be them, but I don't really try to do it. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing where the third book goes, because this is a longer book series. There's like 9 books, and I would like to try and read one per month. This was the one that was meant to be read in March, so I'm probably going to pick up a second Veronica Speedwell book, because why not? Maybe not straight away. Not straight away. I have picked up a different ebook, which actually, now that I've mentioned that, I might as well talk about it. This is The Marlowe Murder Club by Robert Thorogood, who is the same author that wrote Paradise Lost, which became a big TV series. I've not seen that series. It's got good reviews. I've not read that book either. Not got far into it. I think I'm on like the 3rd chapter, because I decided to do like a little teaser start, because I just finished A Perilous Undertaking. I still had about 10 minutes of my lunch break left. I wanted to read something, so I was like, you know what, I'm still in that murder mystery mood. Let's pick up this one, and I had it saved on my Kindle, so thought, why not? It's really fun. Oh my god, it's so silly. So in this one, we're following Judith, and Judith is 77 years old, and she has never been married. She loves that for her, because she doesn't need a man telling her what to do or where she's going or what to eat dinner and stuff. She is happy living her life. She is very, very happy. She even likes to go swimming in the Thames naked, because why not? But while she is doing this, one evening she is swimming in the Thames and she hears her neighbour shout and then a gunshot, and she calls the police. Like, she hightails it out the Thames, goes back to her house, calls the police, tells them what's occurred, and watches from her window as a police officer arrives and just does a customary look around. Doesn't really do much. And then she gets a call the next day saying, you know, it's probably nothing. We didn't see anything untoward. And she's like, no, I'm telling you what I heard. And they're like, yeah, but it could have been a car backfire and it could have been this. Like, it all seems fine. And Judith's like, no, this is not good enough. Doesn't get anywhere with the phone call. So she's like, sod this. I'm going to go find it for myself what's happened. And then ends up finding her neighbour's dead body. So, you know, this is good fun. It's honestly, it's just fun. I'm really enjoying it. I think Judith is a really fun main character, especially considering it's just the first couple chapters. Like, honestly, the first page, I was like, she's gonna be a good one. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'm really looking forward to continuing reading that. I'm really into my ebooks at the minute. Like, this year, half of my reading has been ebook. I'm just having so much fun with it. Like, they're so easy to read. Lunch breaks when I'm at work, when I'm tired of an evening, if I'm traveling around. This bad boy, so freaking handy. I'm loving it so much, so I'm really, really pleased with that. I actually also found out that Libby, the app Libby, which loads of people have mentioned, works here in the UK, and I didn't even know that because I've only seen other people like in other countries talk about it. I didn't know we could get that. And Libby is this app where you upload your library card and then you can have access to the library's ebook and audiobook system, but not just your local library, all the libraries under that umbrella. I'm obsessed. I've downloaded a few different ebooks. I've got those lined up to go because why not, and a few that are just on hold, so like I'm waiting for them to become available. Honestly, I'm in my ebook era and I'm loving it. But I did make progress with my physical books today. No, not today. What am I talking about? Not today, not yesterday, the day before. The last time I updated this, I read a bit more of the evening of The Clevening, and I'm up to chapter 19, page 177. So I will say I liked the first part of this book quite a lot. I thought it was really good, really interesting. Was a bit frustrated with Nimu not being able to do anything to kind of save what was going on and to like fight back, but could understand why she wasn't, because she was fearful for herself, fearful for her people, fearful for people discovering that she had magic and what would happen. Like, I can understand those fears and them stopping you. In this second part, we've had a lot of time dumps, and I mean a lot. Like, it will be one chapter, something happens, next chapter, oh, a few weeks, sometimes a couple months, sometimes a year has passed, and now we're dealing with something else. So it feels very much like we're just going point to point of different things that have happened, which is fine, but I don't tend to like those sort of stories because I want to see the in-between bits. That's how I get to know my characters and stuff. And right now, all we're really seeing is Merlin make a mess of things, getting the hidden folk involved and having them rise up against. So all the things that Merlin was scared about, he's kind of brought about himself because he's been meddling. Nimu's been pulled into it to try and protect people that she cares about. We're just seeing the fallout of these different things that are happening, and it's like, it's good. It makes for a really easy read because it's just going point to point. It's very, very easy to read. You can pick up and put down, like you could read one chapter and that'd be fine because you know the next chapter is unlikely to follow straight after the events of what's just happened. But I do kind of want a little bit more. I want a bit more interaction. I understand this is spanning a lot of time inside a smaller book, so I get why we're having the time jumps, but I do just wish we had a little bit more downtime with them rather than just seeing Namu getting irritated with things and then bam, action, move on. I am liking it. I will still finish it. It's an easy read. It's not going to take me long to finish this one because of the way it reads, but it's not one that I will be like, oh, you should definitely read this one, because it's an okay book, so that's fine. And it's good for my early shifts. Like today I'm really tired, I'm not feeling it. If it weren't for the fact that I'm reading this one, which is an easy book to pick up, I would probably just carry on with the Marlowe Murder Club on my Kindle. I really like reading on my Kindle when I'm tired. This is a really fun, entertaining book. What I might do actually is maybe just read 50 pages of this and then read more of Marlowe Club today, because I'm really feeling this. Like it instantly sucked me in. Like murder mystery books are just the most fun, entertaining books, especially cozy murder mysteries. They are so fun. Anyway, let's move on to the book that I finished, which is actually the manga, Promised Neverland Volume 4. Ah, I loved it. Every time I pick up a volume of this, I'm always like, when it's on my TBR, oh, it'll be good, you know, I'll like it. And then I read it and I'm like obsessed, and I'm like, I want the next one. This could be a series that I easily binge read. Unfortunately for me, I don't have volume 5 and I've been struggling to find the sucker for ages. It's been an ongoing thing. Every time I go into somewhere that sells manga, I have a list on my phone that I look for, and I've just never found volume 5. But this is so good and I'm having so much fun. I loved where this went. Like this one got really dark, it got really sad, there are things that are happening, like it's good. It was to the point where last night I was talking to my partner about it. I just finished reading this and I was like going on about it, all the things I've just said I was saying to him, and he was like, do you want to try watching the anime? Because, you know, we could do that, because he hasn't seen it, he's been interested, he's been wanting to watch it for a while, and I was like, sure, why not? So we watched the first episode of the anime series yesterday and we'll slowly continue watching that, and oh, it's so good. Although I have said to him, I don't want it to get further ahead than where I am in the manga because I don't want to know what's happening. I'm really enjoying finding it out, but I can honestly say Episode 1 was very true to the first volume, so pretty happy with that. I'm gonna go back through the first volume to see where it left off to the end of volume 1, or whether it was like halfway, because I can't quite remember. So I think I'm gonna check that and do that after this update, I think. Tangents aside, this was really good. Did I tell you what this was about when I said I was planning to read it? I don't know. We have a bunch of kids at an orphanage. They have to do like daily tests and stuff to see how smart they are, but you know, they're really well loved, they're really well cared for until they find out the horrific truth of the orphanage, and then it goes from there, and it's really good and really dark and awesome. So yeah, I'm loving this. This was great. I'm so pleased I read this. Like I said, I read it yesterday, went around to my partners, as was the plan. Executed perfectly. I adored it. So those are the reading updates. We have continued a book, finished a book, finished an ebook and started a new ebook. We were just in the reading mood. Like I'm just feeling all of it. And more book related news, I found a book. So at my workplace we have a free library, which is awesome, and I think it's about once every 2 weeks we actually have a lady that comes along and tops the free library back up. People haven't quite caught on to the fact that you're meant to take a book and then leave a book, so generally speaking people will just come along and take the books, but we do have a lady that runs it where every other week she'll come along and she will just stock up the little library. And I saw this one. She came today, I got first dibs, very happy with that. And we have The Cat and the Corpse in the Old Barn. This is by Katie High. I've not heard of Katie High. I had a quick look on Goodreads. She seems to be a very underrated author, not many reviews of her books, but she's done a few different murder mysteries, but this is the first in a new series and it just looks fun. I mean, like, this is in like perfect condition. I'm really pleased. Like, that's amazing to me. But this one is following Clarice, who has two passions in life: animal rescue and Detective Inspector Rick Beach. She is devoted to the first, but she and Rick have been separated for the past 6 months and life without him is hard. Been a murder, and Clarice and Rick have to kind of put their differences aside to find out what's going on, because we have, wait, I'm skipping ahead too much, right. hang on a minute. Clarice shares her other love of ceramics with charming lady Vita. When Vita's adopted three-legged ginger cat Walter disappears from Weatherby Hall, Clarice is called to find him. Walter, snug in an old barn, is quite well, but his discovery ends with Clarice in hospital and Rose Miller, late of the old vicarage, in the morgue. And then Clarice and her partner, they've been separated, have to work together to find out what's going on. It just sounds fun. Like, I saw Cozy Murder Mystery, I was like, yeah, okay, you're coming home with me. I don't actually care too much about the plot synopsis of this because I'm like, Cozy Murder Mystery, I want to try you. Because generally speaking, I really enjoy them. I have a really fun time with them. So I'm happy to add this to my Cozy Murder Mystery TBR. I'm really, really pleased with this. This is going to be a good fun time. I can just feel it. And even if it doesn't be like, oh, it's a new favourite, I'm really happy to have one. Like, if it's, I think I was saying this actually about Juliet E. McKenna, like, if it's a good enough book where I'm like, you know what, I liked this. Do I want to collect all of their work? No. But I would read more by them. I will keep this one as a physical copy to have on my shelf and then get the rest from the library or something, and it would just be a nice time. Like, I'm always on the hunt for more murder mystery authors, so having Katie Hybe, someone that I've never heard of before, could be a potentially new, underrated, like, cozy mystery author that I really like, or it could just be one where I'm like, you know what, I'm feeling cozy mystery, they have a few backlog books, let's just read some. Like, you never know, the possibilities are endless. But yes, I'm very happy with this, and can you tell we're on the cozy murder mystery vein because there's been a lot of that. I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for putting up with me. I'm rather hungry. I'm actually thinking I'm going to go do some food. Actually, my partner did me some food and I'm having leftovers, so I'm going to heat that up. I'm then going to... I need to edit a little bit and then we'll get to reading the Cleaving, and we'll see how much it could be. I get into this and decide just to carry on reading this evening, or I might decide just to do 50 pages and then go to the murder mystery. We'll see, but those are the plans, and I'm actually going to stop waffling now because I'm rather hungry, so I'll catch up with you in a few days' time. I feel like this vlog is going to be slightly longer because last week's vlog was less days, but we'll see how it all ends up editing and stuff. If I keep talking, this clip is already 16 minutes long and there is no sign of stopping, so let's stop, let's put a sock in it, let's go get some food. Afternoon. I have not long got home from work. It is turning really warm outside, which makes me so happy because I am so ready for spring. I can't wait. If you hear lots of background noise, that is because it's a Thursday, which means we have my nephew over, and I have had a great reading time, so I've been loving it. Let's dive straight into it. I read a massive chunk of The Cleaving last night to the point where I was really tempted to finish it. I'm now up to chapter 32 and I have like 50 pages left, and I was so tempted to finish it last night and decided, you know what, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna be patient, I will update you first. So this book has been kind of like a roller coaster in a way, because some parts of this book I've really loved, like the end part of this book, so say the last 50 pages that I read from where I'm up to, really good. Absolutely loved it. The next 50 pages I read from when I last updated, I didn't enjoy that much. And so it seems to go in this like weird bit where I will enjoy like 50 pages and then I'll have like 30 to 50 pages of I'm not enjoying this so much to then go back to enjoying it. And I think that's just because of the way the time jumps are done in this book. It does feel like it's almost in a way like short stories put together, because the time jumps span such a big time at parts and at other parts they don't, and each time you have a time jump we're looking at a different scenario that's going on, so like a different situation that needs to be overcome. And it's interesting, but at the same time it's also a bit kind of annoying in a way, because I mentioned it before, you don't get those in between bits to see that character grow. Instead you're just seeing all of these scenarios and situations happen and Nimu's reactions to them, and that's it. And we're not really getting to know any of the characters in depth and to know what's going on. So like there's a particular character in here which you know on the back that she's part of the story, and also if you know the Arthurian legend you know she's part of the story. You have Morgana and you don't see much of her. There's definitely things going on with her that is really interesting, but you don't see into her mind, you don't get an understanding of why these different things are happening. And I know that's because Nimu doesn't know why they're happening, she doesn't understand it, and we're seeing the book from her perspective, so that does make sense. But I kind of wish we did know, because it would give Morgana more depth, and the same with Genevieve. Like there's no depth to the characters, I would say. And even Nimu, you don't really, she's just kind of the observer. You're seeing things through her eyes, but because of all the time jumps and stuff, you're not really getting to grips and feeling the characters, if that makes sense. But at the same time, as I've been saying consistently, this is a really easy read. Like I do enjoy it for how easy it is to read. I didn't want to put it down because there was certain things that were happening that I was really invested in and I was really enjoying, and I was like, oh, actually this is really good and I want to see how it ends. But this isn't going to be a book that I recommend all the time. It's not going to be a new favourite. I know I will forget about this book, but I do enjoy it. Like this is like there are parts that I'm not enjoying as much and there's parts I am enjoying when I'm reading it in the moment. But like right now I could honestly say I'm not too worried if I didn't go back to it, because I enjoy it in the moment while I'm reading, which is not a bad thing. It's actually kind of perfect for early shifts, because like I say, I prefer that kind of head empty reading experience after an early shift. And especially yesterday I was very, very tired, so having this book while I was very tired and it was engrossing and I was just flying through the pages, like that's what I want. I then did proceed to spend a lot of time on Animal Crossing. I think I would have done, I'm going to be filming some footage of what I did last night, so I'm going to put that in before this clip. If I've done that, you would have seen what I got up to, and I'm just having so much fun. It's just been good. I actually took a month break off Animal Crossing because of all the big books I was reading last month, and I just didn't get a chance to play on that if I wanted to get the books done. So I didn't actually get to play that last month, so it's been really nice getting back into it this week. I'm enjoying all the changes that I'm making, because of course every time I go onto this game I make changes to stuff I've already done, because that's me. Anyway, not the point. The point was this was really good to read while I was tired. I am going to finish it today, but it's not going to be a book that sticks with me, but it's a book I enjoy when I pick it up, so that's good. And then today I made, and actually last couple of days while I've been at work, I have made more progress with the Marlowe Murder Club, and this is really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm now up to chapter 28. It's not telling me the chapter pages. I know there's something I can press to make this but I always seem to just tap to the next page. Anyway, 63%. I'm having so much fun. It's been really good. I like the twists and turns that this book takes. I like the different things that are going on. I'm just having so much fun. Like the group of characters that we're following are really, really fun. They're really engaging. You're really getting to know them. We actually get more perspectives than just Judith, which was really fun. And we're learning more about Judith and the past that she's trying to keep hidden and certain things. And it's really, really good. It's really engaging. I like everything about it. Like I like this talk of cozy mystery where you have a slow town, it's in the English countryside, nothing too fast paced or things going on. It's a slow English countryside town. Like, there's not much going on. Everybody knows everyone. And then we have these murders that are going on and the police don't know what's happening. And the interactions with the police almost reminds me a bit like Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, in the way that our main characters interact with the police, like, that's investigating it, and the police kind of give up with trying to tell them not to get involved. And it's a lot of fun. Like, it's really endearing, and I just enjoy it. And oh my god, there was this scene where they're trying to I don't want to say any spoilers, but there's this whole scene that happens, and the way it was written was just so funny. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's been hilarious, it's entertaining. This is a sort of cozy murder mystery book I love, and I would really recommend, especially if you did like Thursday Murder Club, try this one out. It gives me those sort of similar-ish vibe. Completely different when it comes to the murder mystery part, which is what you want, but the feeling it gives me is the same. So I'm having so much fun with that. I'm actually planning to finish this tomorrow because me and my partner want to do a chill out in-house day. So I'm going to be taking my Kindle, my Switch, and yeah, just planning on finishing this book, playing a bit of Animal Crossing, and that's it really. I might start another physical book when I'm there, but if I do, I'll just talk about that in next week's vlog, because I do plan on wrapping this book vlog up probably Saturday morning, because it's the start of the readathon, and by then I would have hopefully finished the Kindle book and the cleaving. So I'll wrap it up and start a new vlog, and so if I start a new book, it will be in that vlog. And then the last thing to talk about is book mail. This is the second time of having new books in this video, and I'm very excited. This one I know what it is because this is a pre-order, and I'm very excited for it because I've done better this year. Last year I was really bad at pre-ordering books, but this year I've done better, and I utilised Waterstone's double points while I was doing it, so it's kind of how I'm using Waterstones. I don't buy from them online unless I'm ordering something. Ooh, this one's got edges. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so this kind of keeping in theme actually with the books. The last book I showed you that I thrifted, that was a murder mystery, and this is a thriller, young adult thriller. This is Holly Jackson's newest book, and look, I'm very happy with those edges. They didn't do edges. Did they do edges on the other one? I don't know. This is Holly Jackson's second thriller book. The last one was Five Survive. I'm looking over there because that's where it is, on the shelves over there. But I really enjoy Holly Jackson's books. Holly Jackson wrote the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Holly Jackson's just an auto-buy author for me. Oh, I like those end pages. That's very nice. I very like this. Woo. Okay, very happy with this one. I don't know what this one's about. I'm only going to read these 3 lines on the back, and that's it, because I don't want to know. It's a young adult thriller, young adult murder mysteries in general. I don't really want to know, because I'm going into it knowing I'm going to have a good time, and so I don't want to know what else is going on. I like going into it blind. Actually, do we have anything under the dust jacket? I didn't even check. Oh, we do. Oh my god, I actually love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was not expecting that. That is stunning. I love that. Oh, Waterstones. You've had to see, this is why I should pre-order more, because by the time I get round to reading this, it's probably all the nice special editions are gone, which is then when I would have picked it up. Like, I wouldn't have picked it up straight away because I don't know when I'm going to get to reading this, so I would have waited. But this is a gorgeous edition. Anyway, we were saying on the back it said Rachel was really here and she was real, but that didn't mean her story was ... Sounds good. I know, it gives nothing. I love it. Very excited. Oh, I really want to read this soon. See, I kind of want to read this for the readathon because that's what I did last time. So last time Holly Jackson had a new release out, Five Survive, I had a whole TBR for my readathon, and I threw it all out the window and read the whole book in that one night, and it was fantastic. It's one of the few times on the readathons that I've actually stayed up late reading, because I'm a big person of sleep, okay? I can't go without my sleep, but that book, that made me give up sleep for. So I kind of tempted to do the same thing this time. I don't know, I guess you'll have to see the readathon video that's going to be coming out after this one to see whether I do that, but I'm really tempted. How many pages is this without looking at the end? Don't look at the end, don't spoil yourself. 429 pages long. It's doable in a day. I don't know, I'm gonna have to really consider it. Because I'm really tempted to read this one and just do what I did for Five Survive and just read it in a readathon and screw the TBR. It's so tempting. I guess we'll see. But yeah, oh, I'm so pleased with this. Honestly, it's gorgeous. And that under the dust jacket, oh, beautiful. And it says up here, special first edition. Well, that was great book mail. That was even better than I thought it was. Oh, I really want to read it. Oh, Okay, right, stop. We need to stop. I actually need to do some editing because I didn't do any yesterday, so I need to make up, do a bit more today. Not that there's loads to do, but just get it done. Do some food, chill out, finish my book, and go from there. But yeah, ooh, really tempted. Really tempted of the reappearance of Rachel Price. It does look good. Good afternoon. I have just started the 24-hour readathon, although I did say in there I'm giving myself halfway leave period so I can wrap up this vlog, do a bit of tidying up stuff, and then we're going to get to reading, and I'm so excited. That video will be out after this one. I hope you enjoy it, but it's time to wrap up this video, and we have got all the reading updates to talk about because I did finish the cleaving. Honestly, I was a bit disappointed by the ending. I feel like, I mean, I've already said it. There were parts of this book I really, truly enjoyed, and parts where I felt like were too much of a time jump, like kept jumping around too much. I couldn't get to grips with the characters, couldn't really get to feel them and know them. And I feel like the ending was, it could have been really, really good because it showed you the more hidden folk side of things, the magical side of things. But at the same time, it just didn't quite, I just kind of went going, oh, at the end of it. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't, what, I don't know, I just wanted a bit more from it. So I think overall, I'm really pleased I read this. It was the perfect pairing for my early shifts because it was a very easy book to read. Like, it was just one that when I was reading it, I could get into it and it was fine, but it was also a really easy one to just put down and not worry about. Like, it just worked. Like, I didn't have to focus too much on anything because there wasn't too much where it was like complicated to keep up with or anything like that. It was a really simple, easy read. But this is not necessarily one I'm going to recommend to people. It really does depend on a lot of things because, as I said, there are apparently historical inaccuracies, and I keep saying apparently because I just don't know, and I could do the research, but I can't be bothered. So I can't say it's going to be a good read because anyone that will get bothered by that would then be annoyed that I've recommended it, which is understandable. I think the time jumps in this do jump around a little bit too much, could have been smoothed out a little bit, and I do feel like it's frustrating at times with Nymph and how she is and how she just won't do things. Like, she has the power to do things and she won't, and she has her reasons, but at the same time I do feel like, but you could have, and things would be different. And again, I know it's like within the confines of a retelling, but it's still, it's a bit like, ugh, at times. But on the same side of this, like on the flip side, it's an easy, entertaining read, and for that, I had a good time with it. So yeah, it was fine. It was an okay book. I would probably keep this one. I mean, I love the cover, I've already said that. I will probably try something else by Julia E. McKenna, but again, from the library, it's not something I'd go out and buy. So yeah, it was fine. I then did finish the ebook The Marlowe Murder Club yesterday, and oh my god, I had so much fun with it. I loved it. I loved the ending. I loved the twists and turns that it took. I just found it all so much fun. It had me cackling. I just had a great time with it. Like, I really, really enjoyed this one, and I will definitely be continuing on with the series because I just thought it was so good. Just something about these characters, the way they were doing it, the way they were interacting with the police, the way they were finding out things, like, I just had so much fun with. So I really recommend this one. If you're looking for a cozy murder mystery, I would say give this one a try. It was so good, and I'm pretty sure it was actually a recommendation on my cozy murder mysteries video that I made last year. It's been a while now since I've done that video. I'm doing an updated version, but yeah, it was a recommendation on there, so thank you so much for recommending it because it was a delight to read. I had so much fun with it, and I will definitely be getting the next books and probably hopefully owning copies. I mean, we'll see about space, but I would love to own copies of these books because they were so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't say anything else other than that. One, because I don't want to get into spoilers and stuff, but also it just gave me sheer sheer enjoyment of reading. And that's what a good cozy murder mystery does, is I just love reading them. They're enjoyable, they're entertaining, I find them funny, like they're just so good. This was great. I really enjoyed it, would highly recommend. Which then brings me to what else I finished this week, because we ended up finishing 4 books this week, which I'm very impressed with. We did finish the manga volume, which is Promised Neverland Volume 4, and I loved this. It really got me back into Promised Neverland because I had a big break because I was trying to finish up Tokyo Ghoul. I started reading Dead Man's Wonderland with my partner, so Promised Neverland got put on the back burner. But if I can find Volume 5 and continue on with this series, it's going to be great. Like, I love it. I get really into it. I love how dark it gets. I like the different things that our characters are having to go up against. Like, it's so good. So these are the sort of manga that I like. Like, I'm not actually into cute cozy manga that much, so I like manga like this, and it just seems to really work for me. So yeah, I had a great time and it reignited the passion. And then the other ebook I read was A Perilous Undertaking by Dana Rayborn, and this was a great book. I love this series. It kind of established that I really do love the Veronica Speedwell series, and I really want to continue on with it, and it's going to be a series that I reread and recommend to people because it's just so much fun. Cozy murder mystery set in more Victorian London times, and you have Veronica being someone that is so ahead of her times and being so confident in herself, who she is, the things that she wants, the way that she views things, her forward thinking. And then you have the murder mystery side of things, and they do make mistakes and they mess up and everything, but they're amateurs and they know they're amateurs. But the banter between her and Stoker is really good. Like, it just works. It is really good. So I'm really pleased. Honestly, I'm really happy with all the reading I've done this week. I think I've made good progress on my TBR at the start of the month, getting 2 of these done and having 2 really good murder mystery ebooks. It's just been so good. I did technically have time to start another book for next week's reading vlog early, but we decided not to I decided not to, because me and my partner decided to watch Dune Part 1, and it was honestly better than expected. I'm not gonna lie, I quite liked it. I liked the music that they did to it. I thought it just was a very cinematic film. I actually think if you condense the plotline of what happened, it was hella slow. Honestly, they could have condensed that down into half the time. But the film itself, like we both agreed, was so cinematic. Like the music they did with the cinematography, like it just worked really well. So we're kind of tempted to go to cinema to see part 2 because it's still in cinema. So we'll see, because I'm not sure if it's still going to be in when we're next off together. I think we're going to have to look at our rosters and see what we can do with that, because that would be really good to do. And we haven't been to cinema in ages, and I don't normally like going to cinema, to be honest, because I get bored with films. But this was really good, and I'm now interested in reading the novel. I've been told that like the book part 1 of the movie actually only takes place in like a really small chunk of the book, so we'll see. Anyway, that's enough waffling from me. I hope you've had a really good week. Let me know what you've been up to, what you've been reading. Let me know if you've read any of these or if you want to. Think if you've made it this far, then shall we leave I don't know if there's a rowing boat emoji, because Marlowe Murder Club, like a rowing boat, like I don't know. If there's not that, then I guess just leave a cup of tea, because I want to do a cup of tea. There we go. Nice. So if you've made it this far and you don't know what you want to comment, then you can always leave a cup of tea, or if they do have a rowing boat, leave a rowing boat emoji. But I'm going to stop waffling on. So thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you that takes the time to watch these videos, to interact and everything. Like, oh, it means the world. And if you have liked this video, I'd really like it if you'd consider giving it that thumbs up, subscribe and commenting. It really helps this channel grow. My social media links and anyone I've mentioned will be linked below for you, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.